guess what was your first reaction to the news Tuesday with Sigi parting ways with the club?
Yeah, so normally we have a team meeting. It's usually just video, but once I saw Cornish in there, Henderson, and obviously Adrian knew that it was something was going down. So, it was an announcement in front of the whole team. Obviously Sigi got to say his words, and the reaction is one a little bit somber for me. Obviously same coach for 10 plus years now. First time with the under 20s in 2005, 2 years in Columbus, and now 7.5 years here. So something to be said about longevity, what the club has accomplished, but things as it stands aren't good enough, and so that was the decision of the front office to make, to get a change and to get a jolt going into the last 14 games.
I'm sure you said after the game on Sunday that it was kind of unlike any game you'd ever played, just in terms of not being able to connect passes and stuff like that. Do you attribute that to the heat? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it was, we can talk about it being, mentally trying to block out the heat, but the reality is it took a lot out of the guys. I'm not going to make excuses for not being able to communicate, not being able to pass, connect. But at the end of the day, it was hot, and that was, it is what it is. So didn't get the result, and unfortunately, it lies on, it lied on Sigi's shoulders, and that was the trigger. I'm assuming was the last game. So, but that responsibility doesn't lie with him. It's a team effort, front to back. So. For us, we have to take a look at ourselves, what we can do better to make sure in these last 14 games. We set some goals for ourselves in the next couple of days on what we need to accomplish to make the playoffs and to make that a reality. So a new start, a new beginning. Practices, today was intense. It's always going to be intense, and I think anytime you bring in a new coach, guys want to prove that they belong and deserve to be starting. So a bit of a fresh attitude and a new beginning.
10 years with one coach is pretty rare in pro sports. I mean, is it going to be a little weird and surreal for you to get here, not have him at training and games not at the sideline?
Yeah, definitely a little bit surreal. I think it'll take a while to sink in. Last year, Sigi was absent for a little while, and Brian stepped in, but you always knew that it was temporary, and now that is it's for sure now. So it'll take a while to sink in, but as the weeks go on, number one is we're here to win games, obviously, and no matter what it takes. If it's now it's a coaching change, obviously. Who knows, this weekend there could be lineup changes, something to ignite a fire. And I think that was the goal, and unfortunately it lied on his shoulders, but now we come together. But yeah, 10 years is a long time, a little bit surreal, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
What's your reaction to the Lodeiro and Flacco coming in?
Yeah, obviously a positive reaction. It's great to get a couple players who are in season form. Lodeiro was just played, not even a week ago. That's huge coming into our situation right now. Somebody who can make an immediate impact. Of course, I think everybody would like to have him sooner, but it is what it is now. We got a massive game in a sold-out stadium potentially this weekend against a conference rival. Chance for us to get 3 points, and I think that hopefully he'll be a big part of that. Flacco as well is a guy who knows the city, knows the team, knows the culture. It's a place that he wants to be. Both those guys actually. So it's good. It brings in a little bit of flair, a little bit of technique, a little bit of extra something in the final third that maybe we've been lacking, and hope to integrate them as soon as possible.
Speculation that often gets thrown around after a coaching change that maybe a guy lost a locker room or something, but do you think that Sigi was connecting with you guys all the way to the end?
Yeah, I mean, he was always connecting with me. I can't say the same for everybody else. Sigi and I would meet outside the field and say what we can do better, what I can do better, what he can do better, and those were honest, candid conversations. But at the end of the day, the group wasn't performing, so it is what it is at that point. So yeah, I mean, I'll take responsibility for losses if you want to give them to me, but it'll brush right off my shoulders, and I'll take it on the chin and hope to rally this group and get them going for Sunday.
For sure, and I don't know if you saw it, there was a report quoting anonymous sources saying that there was discord in the locker room and stuff like that.
Of course, anytime a team's losing, they're going to try and point fingers. The reality is you've seen every single day guys come out here and bust their ass in training. There isn't anybody here that's taking breaks during training. It's anytime we talk, I'm impressed by everybody coming out with a level head even after a loss, because guys are hungry to get results, and they know what's at stake, and you guys can see that. So your cameras are out here just as much as your eyes are, and let's trust our eyes and the cameras. And what I'm saying is that this is a group that's together and ready to push for the playoffs.
Sure. As a leader of this team, what do you say to the group, to the team in general, when you kind of turn a new page as a new coach? Coach has been here so long, he's now gone. What is your message to the team?
Well, I mean, Brian's been here longer than anybody.
Right.
So I think that there's something to be said about longevity there too. There will be subtle differences in the way that the day-to-day operations are approached. You see it today in training. For me, it was a little bit of the same drills. So now a new coach comes in and they bring in a little bit something extra, a little bit something different. Not to say now that one is better than the other, but I think the goal is to get a spark and to get something going. So if that means training becomes different, it becomes longer, it becomes shorter, more intense, whatever it is the goal is to find something to get a result on the weekend. And so to the group, we say, put your head down and work just like you did before. And the mentality changes a little bit. Like I said before, a new coach comes in, maybe he doesn't like certain players in certain positions or the formation, and he has the freedom to now change that as a head coach. So we've got to be ready for anything during the week, and now we've ultimately got to start battling again for positions potentially and spots on the field.
Having such a big game coming up against LA, have all these events become a distraction of some sort, or?
Well, it's the first time it's happened here, so we'll see this weekend. But like I said before, the hope is to make a change that gets us results. And that will remain the goal of the last 14 games of the season. But we all know, number one, that it's part of the business. Guys have been on other teams before. It's a little bit different for me because I've only been with one coach, but guys have gone through this before. Tyrone's probably gone through 12, 13 managers in his career. Overseas it's a bit more common than here. So, let each and every person know that this is a business, and no matter who you are, you're pretty much expendable when you're not getting results. So let's get the results, make sure that we keep this group together because we like each other, and move forward.
Is there a sense that you guys are playing for this group, especially as the veterans? Are you guys maybe playing for your jobs given the turnover and everything else?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, guys are in different contract situations, but at the end of the day, the front office will tell you that it's a business number one, and the goal is to get results. And whoever that player is, the player is. So if I'm not getting the job done, I would expect, if I was in that position, to find somebody that gets the job done. So it is what it is at this point. But we're still fighting for wins. We're fighting for jobs. We're fighting for fans. We're fighting for our families. Everything is on the line right now.